What's up with it, y'all? I'm JP, and this is Watch This Ish Reactions, where I react to a whole lot of different ish. Today, we got Red Dawg, and he's speaking on his son, 88 Dawg, being unalived by the police. Yeah, now that you know the deal, hey man, slap that like button, subscribe with your boy, and hit that bell notification so you know when all the new content drop. With all that being said, let's go.
Out here to give you the real details. We came out here to tell you the truth about what happened to my son. We're gonna walk you through where he died. We're gonna walk you his last steps. Let's walk. So y'all parked right here. So they parked up here by this, what's that white thing there, that Cadillac Escalade? That's where we picked up my son's car yesterday, by the Escalade. So he came this way. Let's walk his path, y'all. Did y'all walk? Y'all went that way. Let's walk the way he walked. Let's take his final steps.
We come out the alley right there and come this way.
Right. So, listen, y'all. When my son, because these, I want to know, camera, they was with him. These are witnesses that was on the scene with him. His car was parked right there. Right there. That's where I picked it up. That's where I picked it up. He didn't deserve to die like this. A lot of people, I want y'all to know something. Let's talk about it. A lot of people need to understand that everything you're hearing ain't true. They're getting it confused with two different stories. The first story is my son, he came to do a show. When he showed up, the shootout, there was a shootout that happened before my son made it to the show. By the time he got there, he was asking the guys if they was gonna pay them his money for the show. From what I understand then, because I wasn't here, the little Mexican got cocky with him. And we all know how Dub is. We already know he ain't gonna just let nobody run over him. He asked for his money again. They didn't want to pay him. So he diffused the situation. Is this correct? I want to stop right here for a second because right there is where my son was laying. Right there by that flag. The blood is still on the ground. So this is what I want to know right quick. The Mexicans live on the other block, right? When we came around, when y'all come around, let's say it right, when y'all come around, right? Y'all come from the block on the end?
Yeah, we came from the alley right here, behind here, we come right here.
Okay,
we didn't make it to about right there, like where the stuff sticking up right here. We was right there. We all on the side right here.
So my question is this: the Mexicans confronted y'all where?
They come right there, like right around here.
He was right here by the car at the white mailbox.
Oh, okay. So y'all was at this mailbox right there, and he was parked right here. This is where he was parked.
Yeah, we trying to get down here.
This is where he's parked, right there by the telephone pole. So hold on. Let's get to that point. So the laws, let's get this straight. The laws wasn't even in cars at the time. The laws was on their feet. The laws wasn't in the vehicles. So what happened is the Mexicans that y'all confronted, they got cocky, right?
Yeah.
So what did y'all do about the situation?
He was right there, and while he was talking to him, he went his way with him. You know, he whip out.
Yeah, so the gun was drawn. The Mexicans had guns. Dub had his gun. Everybody had a gun, right?
Yes, sir.
And then what happened?
And then Dawg basically tell him like, man, he trying to talk to the person that put him on the flyer so he can get his money.
Right.
And then the Mexicans like, he not here, and woo, they just had a shooting, and this, that, and the third, they not here. And bro, just once he tell him, like, once he drew down, they talking about why you
well, they
doing
come
that?
they come out with a gun on my son.
Yeah,
they thought my son wasn't gonna come out with his.
Exactly, and they tell him like, why you do that? We got a bunch of those.
But I want to know something, America and whoever's watching this. If you have a gun and they have a gun, let's go all the way back to the white folks. You think a white folks gonna let you pull your gun out on them? Yeah, no. And not kill you, not smoke you, not try to fight with you, not pull their weapon? Is this what happened?
Exactly.
So Dub had his gun out, they had their gun out.
Stop it right there. Man, first off, R.I.P. 88 Dub. Unfortunate that young brother lost his life, you know. But I gotta say, man, we gotta get away from the hood stuff, man. You know, we already in the urban area, you know, got a lot up against us just you know, every day walking in the trenches, you know what I'm saying? So we got to do better, you know what I'm saying? All these whipping our guns on each other, you know, white, black, Mexican, whatever color you is, man. The hood got to do better to the hood, man. You know, a lot of times we get back the energy that we put out in the atmosphere, you know, and I don't know the full details, you know, Red Dawg, his daddy, he bumping it down now, letting us know. But what I do know is we got to do better, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to do different so we can get different, man. All this drawing down on each other and tripping and carrying on ain't hitting on nothing, you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is, man. Hit that like button, subscribe with your boy. Let's go.
Right?
Yes, sir.
They leave, what happens?
They start backpedaling like by the stop sign.
Right.
They getting far out of reach. And while we're saying like, let's get to the car, come this way.
Right.
And while they're going back, we hear 3 shots.
So hold on, let's get this straight, because everybody wants to know the facts. So the Mexicans shot 3 shots, correct?
Sir, 2-3 shots for sure.
Right.
They let
Right.
Out, they let out first.
They what?
They let out first because brother had a switch. When he let out, a bunch of shots going.
So my son had a switch on his thing, right?
Yeah.
And after they fired 3 shots, my son did what?
He defended us by letting off.
He had to defend what, y'all, right? Because they were trying to kill y'all. So my son had to defend himself.
Yeah, he pushed me out the way.
Right.
He told me run. He got it. He let off. He let off as I'm running. I run right in between these houses, jump the gate.
So as they're running, this is what I want to get to right quick. Everybody's running, ducking, covering, whatever, right?
Yeah.
From the Mexicans, my son comes running down here because he died right there, where, y'all, right where that flag is. 88 Dub blood is still right there, right now. I just looked at it yesterday.
Cold lick.
So here we go. Let's get into this situation with the police. So the police, this is what I need to know. Did the police did the police see my son shooting that weapon?
No, they did not.
Now how do you know? Hold on, if he's firing a switch right there, let's be real about it. He's firing a switch, it's firing, and fire's flying out of it. If he's right there, right?
Yeah.
So he let the switch go right there, and y'all turned around and took off back to the car, right? Which was right there.
Over here, yeah.
And as soon as the gun, now Dub's empty. He had a switch, it's empty. It's gonna fire it out. So now Dub takes off running and was coming this way, right?
Yeah.
So what happened?
So we see people coming from this way, but like what we were talking about earlier, we would think it's other Mexicans ambushing us, bro. It's in that mode because they already let off shots.
Right, so let's get this straight. Let's get this straight, whoever's listening. Let's keep real and G. Let's keep it real. My son was coming down there. He just got an altercation with these Mexicans. He's fired. It's empty. Keep in mind, my son's shit's empty. Now he's coming down the runway right here on the sidewalk trying to make it to his car, which was parked right here. And these cops, did they yell, stop, freeze, Fort Worth police? Did they say anything like that?
We didn't hear no
Everybody running.
department.
Nobody heard nothing about no police. Nobody even.
There wasn't no red and blue flashing lights?
No lights, none of that.
So-
That was over there.
So my son had no idea. Let's keep G in streets, because that's what we're gonna do, is keep it in the streets. We're keeping the streets, right? My son was running down this way, and this law came from here.
The sideline.
He literally standing right.
Well, that man hurt. You can hear it in his voice.
Curve right here. It was a truck right here.
This whips over here, we can't see him.
So there was something parked there, and you couldn't see my
We
son.
can't see no law.
I mean, you couldn't see the law, but the law could see y'all. He's ducked off.
Yeah, he
Did he have a flashlight?
no, we didn't see none of that.
flashlight
He didn't have nothing to acknowledge that he might be a
We
cop.
thinking them Mexicans and all black or something.
So exactly what you would be thinking if you in the streets is these Mexicans ambushed us. But hold on, Fort Worth PD. Y'all saying that my son upped the weapon. Let's talk about that.
How could he? Why?
Stop right there. That's one more thing, man. You can hear the hurt in that man's voice, man. You know, another son gone. You know, that's crazy, man. You can hear the hurt in his voice. You know, ain't nothing worse than a father, a daddy, however you want to put it. You know, losing his son and him sitting up feeling like, I know he's feeling like, man, is there something that I could have done to save my son's life? Or, you know what I mean? You want to ride on folks that done rode on your boy. This is your son. You know, they done took from you. So, boy, I know that's a cold lick. I got a son, so I know how you feel. You know, I ain't lost him. Lord, you know, thank you, Lord. I still got him. You know, I couldn't even put myself in them shoes, but I know if it was me, how I would be feeling. So I know that dude going through it. Couldn't help his boy, you know, in no shape, form, or fashion.
He up the weapon if he ain't got no bullets in his gun.
For one, I taught my son better than that. My son ain't gonna up the weapon on no laws. My son was a gangster, not a damn fool. And the city knows that. So this is what I want to say, and just gonna keep it real. As he was coming down, his gun was empty. They hit him. They started hitting him, correct?
Yeah, that's 100%
Yeah,
correct.
Tell me about this.
And my
They was
bro,
behind the hood. Mind you, when I running, my shoe fall off. So I jumped the gate. I come right back to grab my shoe. As I come back, they standing exactly right here ducked behind the hood, and they shot my brother in the back, then shot him in the head.
So they shot him. Let's keep this in mind, y'all. They shot him 5 times. Listen to me. Let's get the story right, because it's a lot of y'all talking and don't know nothing. So let's get it right. So they shoot my son. He goes down. He was dead when they shot him. They shot him in the head, man. They shot him in the chest. They never acknowledged one time that they never spoke and said they was cops. They never spoke and said, freeze, Fort Worth Police Department, put the gun down. Let me ask y'all something. Did my son up the gun at any time?
He didn't up no gun.
He never upped the gun, right? What happened after he got hit, Billy Wayne? Tell me what happened. He got hit. Speak into it.
my bro must have locked up or something, because for sure he didn't get to drop no gun.
Well, let me explain to you something. When you get hit by a bullet, your body locks up. You go into shock.
Especially multiple bullets.
Especially multiple bullets. My son knew he was gonna die. And he ain't pulled a pistol on the. They gunned him down right here in the streets of Fort Worth. They gunned him down. And see, this story goes way back. This story ain't just right now. It's because them hoes with me my whole life. Now, my other son, let's talk about this right quick before we get too much further into it. These bitch ass motherfuckers come to my house a couple of weeks ago looking for my young son because he left the scene or he drove off after somebody got out and took off running. He came home. When he came home, he ran in the house. Well, the laws told him, they called me, Red Dawg, we're gonna get him, you need to get him out of there. So I'm all the way in another state, but guess what I do? I talk to my boys because I calm down Fort Worth PD. I'm not the one escalating nothing. I tell them, let them come in, let them do what they need to do. Let's get out of this age. You're going to have to turn yourself in, son. Be a man. Let's fight this. I got you. That's what we talk about. Well, in the process of me doing that, they break all my cameras in my front yard. They take him to jail for evading arrest. Let's understand something. They told him evading arrest, so they take him to jail. He's on parole. So we already know we got a battle, right? So he goes to jail for evading arrest, but while he's in jail waiting, they start saying, like, we're going to do some more charges. Well, the other charges is this. Let me tell you something, word. Listen what happened to 88. Brother, they've been with us for years, man. This is nothing new. You see my skin? It's because I'm a white boy and I was in the game. I was in the game for a long time. And that's what it's all about. That's what it generates about the whole life. I've always been the police. The police. That's the way I stand. That's the way I live. That's the way I represent. And that's the way I will always be. My son did not deserve to die like this. Let's get back to what I was telling you over there. So now, laws, after I say they can go into my house and do what they need to do, instead of them respecting, They go outside and break all my cameras. I got a surveillance system around my house, which I have footage of them breaking my cameras. Then they charge Zay. Let's get back into Zay. Then they charge him after all. One of the cops said, this is what he said. We got other charges to put on you. I seen you throw the gun. You know up about protect and serve. These hoes is a worse gang than we've ever have created. Motherfuckers are a worse gang than we've ever created. This is the deal. This is the deal, y'all. They broke all my cameras on the outside of my house and all in the trees, knocked them all down. And when we asked them why you did that, they said because they didn't want us watching them. Well, you know why they did that? Because they're corrupt. Here's another thing. They said that my son threw a gun under the car. Let's talk about this, gangsters. Let's talk about this, man. Let's talk about this Fort Worth. Why would my son make it home and throw his gun in the yard or in the car? If I made it home and I'm there, guess what I'm gonna do? Any man's gonna do, they're gonna pack that gun in the house and hide it to do something with it, not leave it outside for the police to find. Well, the cop said he's seen him. Credible witness is a cop, right? We ain't nobody, but the cops got everything, right? Let's keep this shit real. Let's keep it what it is, man. So the cop says he's seen him. He's gonna witness in court that he's seen him, but what cop don't know is we got it on camera. Remember I told you there's cameras running before we got there. When he pulled up, he did not throw no gun out. He didn't get rid of nothing. He got out and ran in the house. So how are you gonna charge him later with a credible witness as law to say that? You're supposed to be a cop. You cops need to understand you're here to protect and serve us. To protect and serve us. No matter if we're white or no matter if we're black. You're supposed to protect and serve this community, man. Not come out with because you're scared and gun her down like that.
We need to drug test these cops that come into these urban neighborhoods patrolling.
It needs to be more than a drug test. It needs to be a race test. That's what we need to start getting into. Start putting black cops over here, man. Because these white boys cocky.
Yeah.
I walked up to them after they killed.
Stop it right there. Boy, them boy just said something there. Yeah. Everybody needs to be policed, you know. And I'm gonna call it down the middle, you know. Everybody needs to be policed. The police need to be policed. We need to police ourselves. We need to start making better decisions as the people in the hood, you know. Stop tripping, you know, over gangs and sets and money, you know, over small stuff that we shouldn't be tripping on. And we also shouldn't be giving the police the power, which they do have the power because they have license to kill. They pretty much is the judge, the jury, and all that on the street because it's your word against theirs, and they'll clap you up and leave you unalived and all that, and it's a wrap. It's nothing you can do, you know. So we need to do better from putting ourselves in that kind of position. Now, did he deserve to die? No, because I'm with him. You know, you can't be putting no scary police in the hood. You might need to just get some brothers over here, you know, some other people that's going to be more comfortable in being around the likes of us, you know, because you can't just be killing folks either, you know. That ain't right. That ain't right. But I got to call it down the middle on both sides of it. Everybody need to be better. Real talking.
Son, and I asked him, I said, man, what happened? Talk to me. And they shitted on me. As I tried to get in here to see him, they shitted on me, man. Let's just make it real clear. We're talking facts right now. And this is something else that y'all are confusing with the whole situation. There is another situation. There was a Mexican driving them down the street. How do I know? Because I'm keeping my eye on everything moving at that time, because in my mind, I'm trying to figure out who killed my son. So anybody popping up, rolling up, and coming through, I want to see. And I seen two Mexicans in the Equinox. They come by. And we got it on video, them coming through. Hold on. And then the Mexican come back again, maybe a couple of times, but let's talk about it. Fort Worth, the police officer said that they were driving, trying to run over cops. They was not driving, trying to run over a cop. They was fast moving, and I can understand that, but we wasn't trying to hit no cop. They ended up chasing them up here to Lancaster, doing the pit maneuver, and running him out of there and swearing he had trying to get their weapon and killed him too. How many times must somebody die in the streets of Fort Worth without somebody standing up for what's right, man? Yeah, my son was gang related. Yeah, my son was a gangster. Yes, all that's true. But he wasn't no fool by far. And he ain't never gonna battle no cop because we know assholes we can't win. And let's get back into something else right quick. I want to be very clear. The police in Fort Worth seem to think that I'm trying to incite a riot against them. Fools, I know I can't win. I ain't been able to beat you all this time, and I ain't finna take nobody behind me to crash out. We ain't fools, man. I didn't live this long because I'm peon. I made the OG status, and I made it because I got brain. You understand? And I know when I'm outnumbered, and I know when I can't handle my own business. I got to move around. Been moving around a long time for assholes, but I ain't coming at y'all like that. I'm coming at you with these lawyers now, and I'm coming at you with folks, and I'm bringing everything that come my way to investigate why you just killing people for no reason. My son did not deserve to die like that. Again, back into my son's situation.
Yes, sir.
He come running down that road with his gun in his hand. He was right there, bro. He was right there. They gunned him down. They shot him all the way down through here. Look at the bullet holes in the house. Look at the bullet holes in the concrete. You hear me? They shot him down right here, man. They killed him, and they wouldn't even let me see him. He laid right there for 5 hours before they even moved him. And then they want to say they rendered aid. You lying. You didn't render. You killed him. You knew you killed him, and there wasn't no reason to try to render aid. When you looked at him, you blew his head off, man. And that's up. And Fort Worth, Texas, man. If it ain't me, next week it's gonna be you. Remember that. Remember that. So don't take it like that. Understand what I'm saying when I say that. It was my son this week. Next week it'll be somebody else's. That night it was another Mexican son right over here. They killed him. They killing him in cold blood and getting away with it. And you know what assholes get? A little time off because they're shook up because they killed somebody. They need to go talk to a counselor like that. You understand what I'm saying?
100%.
Let's just keep what it is, man. They took something important away from me, and I'm hurt.
Man, hurt.
My soul is hurt.
Can't imagine it, bro.
And of all people to do it,
Lost his son.
Protect and Serve got him. Yeah, he had a gun. Yeah, he was running through here. All that. But unless he had that weapon drawn on you cops, then you should have known protocol. You need to know your job. And why would you kill a man running with a gun? I want to understand why you would kill him.
They scared.
Wound him.
Scared,
Scream
scared,
out,
scared.
Fort Worth PD, drop the gun. If it would have been child police officer, it'd have been a whole different situation. But see, we grew up in the jungle. We grew up over here, Eastwood. Born and raised. That's all we know. We don't know nothing. When you was riding skateboards, we was carrying pistols. That's just what happens. When you was in school speaking straight to cops. When you was in school getting bullied, we was in school being big dogs. Ain't never been over here. And didn't make it. Grew up out there and drove in here. Fort Worth PD, and you gotta fix this. Fix it. When you're locked up, y'all don't understand that when you come out, you're supposed to de-escalate the situation. At least shake your flashlight, show him you're a lawman. My son was not gonna buck no police. He's me. He's me. I ain't never bucked you hoes because I can't win. And now you putting on you thinking that I'm coming after y'all. Hoes, stop trying to legally kill me. Let's keep it real. It looks like the laws want to legally kill me now because what the laws is saying, so Fort Worth understands, is I'm trying to go against them and kill some police. Man, I'm 50 years old. Here's two of my children right here. Why in the would I do that? Why? Let me tell y'all something, Fort Worth. I got 15 kids, man. Y'all just took one from me, police. I got 14 more to take care of. I don't crash out. I'm not a dummy. I'm not a fool. And that boy that you killed the other night, he wasn't either. You murdered him. And he needs to be held accountable. Because if he didn't scream before he shot my son, Fort Worth PD, and I don't mean on this little bit, stop, don't move. I need you to understand that it's loud out here. It's gunfire and it's people running. I need you to acknowledge that. Instead, we gunned him down and we got away with it. We got away with it, didn't you? That's how you feel. But I'm bringing everything legally I can now, and I'm not gonna stop. I will be a voice of the hood in Eastwood. I'm gonna stand firm and I'm gonna try to make it work. The right way. Understand that you put this the right way. I'm not trying to cause no war. That's what you dumbasses don't understand.
There you go.
If I wanted war,
do it the
we
right
would
way.
already be there. I don't want war. I want peace. And I want justice for Emmett Elijah Mayo, 88 Dawg, my son.
Already.
This is blood, son. This is blood. They gunned him down, man.
Yeah, then when he fell, they ran across the street. I jumped the hay because I'm running to help my brother. I'm trying to help him get up. They telling me, get back, get back, get back. Right. I'm telling him, help my brother. I'm yelling at him. I'm telling him, help my brother. Next thing you know, he go throw my brother on his stomach, put him in handcuffs.
They put him in handcuffs as he was dying.
Damn.
He was already dead.
Then everybody knows.
That's a cold lick. That crazy work.
Somebody get shot, you don't never lay them on their stomach.
That's
They lay
crazy.
them on the stomach.
Man, you look real familiar. You used to, you remember old Terry back in the day?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I really.
So look, you got cameras somewhere?
Dang, it's done. This is my mom's crib.
Yeah, she came in. I wore this would have been. Huh?
It's all the way blue by the window.
We need to see them two corner houses over there. That would have messed them.
It's over there, all down there by the window.
This is what I need. This is the thing. My son.
There y'all have it. Red Dawg explaining to everybody about his son, 88 Dawg, being unalived in Fort Worth. You know, it's an unfortunate situation. Rest in peace, 88 Dawg. You know, if y'all want to watch the whole entire thing, go over there to the Bob Report and finish it up. But hey, man, jump in the comments, leave your thoughts, hit that like, slap the hype, subscribe with your boy. It's free. It ain't gonna cost you a thing. And continue to rock with me so you can watch This Is